Hello, my name is Paul. I'm the Accidental Bookseller. Welcome to the channel. So today I'm going through a haul from a job lot that I got in a place called Fleetwood, which is a coastal town about 5 miles from Blackpool. And on Facebook Marketplace, there was someone who was selling different lots from different authors from what's called the golden age of crime, which is the 1920s, 1930s, the Agatha Christie period. Well, as well as her, there was other authors that were successful as well. And the entire job lot that I'm going to show you, I got for £14. And the reason I'm doing it today is because I'm going to be selling these at the bookshop where I rent shelves, and I'm doing a refresh tomorrow. So even though I got these about 6 weeks ago when I did that other video, I need to get around to filming these. And as I've got them, you might as well see them. The first author I'm going to talk about and show is Ngaio Marsh. And the first book is Death at the Bar. I'm going to rattle through these. Really nice condition, this one, and I do like that striped cover. I would love to be a little bit younger, so that means I'd have more reading time available in my life to get through some of these, because I think they could be quite an interesting subgenre to read, and I'd like to keep them, but I got them to sell, so I'm going to take them up there to sell. In the collection, on the same day that I got these, I also got 39 Dick Francis books for a fiver, and I'm putting them to one side for a moment because I do like horse racing, and I would like to get to reading those. I'm leaning towards selling, but I'm just keeping them to one side because I'm going to have a full shelf at the bookshop devoted to the golden age of crime. So Ngaio Marsh, that's the first one. I will just read you a touch on the Wikipedia for Ngaio Marsh. So she was a New Zealand writer, born in 1895, died in 1982. But she was a crime writer during the golden age of detective fiction, and she's known as one of the queens of crime, along with Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers, and Margery Allingham. She's known primarily for her character Inspector Roderick Aline, a gentleman detective who works for the Metropolitan Police. So yeah, that's the first one. We've also got Surfeit of Lamprey's. All really nice covers, these, for this particular batch of Ngaio Marshes. Colour scheme. So this particular colour scheme, this was published in this paperback edition 1999. So this is 26 years, so it's been kept nice for 26 years. Death and the Dancing Footman. It's almost kind of like train carriage livery. Death in a White Tie. Some of these are quite collectible, not hugely collectible in terms of being able to sell them for lots of money. I'm going to sell them for cheaper than what they're going for online, because I want to get rid of them and sell them reasonably quickly. So they're ranging from between £3 and £5 a pop. That's what I'm going to charge, even though some of them are worth and going for quite a bit more at times online. More so pricing based upon condition. Vintage Murder, this one. Some of the ones from other authors, as you'll see, they're a bit more of a ratty condition. The Nursing Home Murder. Richard Osman, take note. Death in Ecstasy. Enter a Murderer. A Man Lay Dead. Shall we read one of the backs? Wealthy Sir Herbert Hundersley's original and lively weekend house parties are deservedly famous. To amuse his guests, he has devised a new form of the fashionable murder game in which a guest is secretly selected to commit a murder in the dark and everyone assembles to solve the crime. But when the lights go up, this time there is a real corpse with a real dagger in the back. All 7 suspects have had time to concoct skillful alibis, and it is Chief Inspector Roderick Alline who has to try and figure out who done it. But absolutely classic 1920s genre crime of a weekend house party in probably a nice big stately home type place. Yeah, I'd love to. I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I am tempted to keep that one back, but Artists in Crime. That's all of them from that type of cover. Within the same collection, there's more Ngaio Marsh's, but different types of cover in less condition, better condition, to be honest. This is Scales of Justice, and it's a Fontana. Not a bad spine. And I've found these are going, even in this condition, I can price this the same as some of those the other ones that I've just shown you. Opening Night. That's got a bit of spine bend on that one. Photo Finish. That's a properly red one, that, with there's a crease going along there. That will be quite nice in better condition. Grave Mistake. I think there's people who do collect Ngaio Marshes as well. So if you're actually looking for a Fontana 1978, 1979, this, then yeah, you might fall head over heels over it. Light Thickens. Bit of fading on that one. What's this one say? Peregrine J, owner of the Dolphin Theatre, is putting on a magnificent production of Macbeth, the play that superstition says always brings bad luck. The actors learn to use real swords. Tension mounts. Some believe the curses, others play grisly practical jokes. But one night the claymore swings and the dummy's head is more than real. Murder behind the scenes. Luckily, Superintendent Roderick Alline is in the audience. Again, that's Fontana. So there's a few Fontanas there if you're looking for that. So those are the Ngaio Marshes. I've got one book by Margery Allingham called The Tiger in the Smoke. Not in the greatest of conditions with that peeling. And there's a creasage on the spine. But if you're into the golden age of crime, then it'd be nice. It's going to be nice to have a variation of authors. So Margery Louise Allingham, born 1904, passed away in June 1966, was an English novelist from the golden age of detective fiction. Allingham is best remembered for her hero, the gentleman sleuth Albert Campion. Initially believed to be a parody of Dorothy L. Sayers' detective Lord Peter Wimsey, Campion matured into a strongly individual character, part detective, part adventurer, who formed the basis for 18 novels and many short stories. So that's Margery Allingham. We're now going to move on to Patricia Wentworth. So if you're into Agatha Christie and want to branch out into other popular authors, these are some people you might like to try. So Patricia Wentworth, or Dora Amy Turnbull as she was born, was known by the pen name Patricia Wentworth. She was a British crime fiction writer, and she passed away in 1961. She wrote 32 crime novels in the classic whodunit style, featuring Miss Maud Silver, a retired governess and teacher who becomes a professional private detective in London. Miss Silver works closely with Scotland Yard, especially Inspector Frank Abbott. These are nice covers. I do like these. This is The Chinese Shawl. Latter End. Nice condition, these. These particular copies are reasonably collectible. So these are going to be priced at £5. They're going for more online. This is copyrighted 1949, and this edition is 2006. Nice readable big letters as well. Got a crease in there to the top. The Allington Inheritance. It's got a little bit of creasage line there. Eternity Ring. Doesn't say who the designer is, it just says cover image courtesy of the Advertising Archives. Grey Mask. The Gazebo. Nice number of pages as well, so that one's 370 odd. And I do like this. I don't like the modern size. I think these called A formats. They're just nice to hold in the hand, and especially with the larger text as well. The Girl in the Cellar. This one say, a young woman regains consciousness and finds herself on some cellar steps. At the bottom of the steps there is the corpse of a dead girl. She cannot remember who she is, what has happened, or why she is there. Terrified and confused, she manages to find her way out, and as she flees, she runs into Miss Silver, who offers to help her. A letter in her bag is the only clue to her identity, but by investigating what has happened to her, will she find herself in danger? Can she trust the letter writer? And who is the girl in the cellar? Like I say, I quite fancy reading these if I had the time, but the great sadness is you can't read everything, can you? I've got some other Patricia Wentworths in not as great a condition. This is Pilgrim's Rest. I think one of those other ones was Pilgrim's Rest as well. But that's in a bit ropey condition with a bit of bend and some creasage. The Traveller Returns. That's quite faded, that. Miss Silver Comes to Stay. This one, this one is quite collectible. more than the others actually. Originally first published in 1951, it's a 1972 edition, and this is the 7th impression of that first edition for 1985. And I do like these designs. The Allington Inheritance again, that's got creasage. I do find a lot that if the colour is black on the spine, I mean, I guess it's not the colour that initiates the creasage, but it does show up creasage a lot worse. The Girl in the Cellar, another version. Again, not as good a nick. Coronet, 1989. Originally, this edition was 1965, but that particular copy is 1989. Then we move on to Spotlight. So that's Patricia Wentworth. We're now going to talk about Georgette Heyer, or Heyer, Heyer. And Georgette seems a bit of a fascinating character because she's an English novelist and short story writer in the detective fiction genre. Her first career book was published in 1921, but also she wrote Regency romance books as well. And I think there was some kind of controversy. Barbara Cartland, as Hayer's popularity increased, authors began to imitate her style. In May 1950, one of her readers notified her that Barbara Cartland had written several novels in a style similar to Hayer's, reusing names, characters, traits, and plot points, and paraphrased descriptions from her books. There's quite a lot of information on Georgette Heyer on Wikipedia. She passed away born in 1902, passed away in 1974. A Christmas Party, a seasonal murder mystery. It is no ordinary Christmas at Lexham Manor. 6 holiday guests find themselves the suspects in a murder inquiry when the old Scrooge who owns the substantial estate is found stabbed in the back. Whilst the delicate matter of inheritance could be the key to this crime, the real conundrum is how any of the suspects could have entered the locked room where the victim was found to commit this foul deed. For Inspector Hemingway of Scotland Yard, the investigation is also complicated by the fact that every guest at Lexham Manor is hiding something, casting suspicion far and wide. That sounds like a proper murder mystery. I'd love to keep it and read it, but I got them to sell, so next one is Footsteps in the Dark. It's an older one in Grafton. They found him dead. Bit of spine bend there. And it's peeling a bit there. So not in great nick, that one. The Unfinished Clue. That's in nice condition. It's peeling a bit there. The science fiction masterworks, the yellow versions, have that peelage as well, which is a bit annoying. This has been kept quite nice. This is a Redwood edition, 2003, first published in 1934. This would be a lovely design if it was in better condition. It's got a sticker there, which is annoying, which looks like somebody's tried to get off. Footsteps in the Dark. This is Grafton again, from Derrick's Books, Preston Market. One of my Necroscope books came from Preston Market, actually. it was brand new. There used to be quite a few bookstores on the open air Preston Market, and there was one particular store where all the new books were kept in beautiful plastic wrappers. That was about 40 years ago, 35 at least. Why shoot a butler? So clearly the butler didn't do it, or maybe he did somehow, I don't know. Again, a bit of peelage there. It's the same Redwood edition, so maybe they're prone to that. Death in the Stocks. Don't think those designs on these Redwood editions are quite as nice as those other editions. And then also, I've got a job lot that I've been dipping in and out of just to take 3 or 4 books to the bookshop to sell and just gradually whittling them down. And within this, I found a civil contract by Georgette Hire. And I think this might be, I need to look it up. I think this might be one of the Regency books, but it is actually a first edition from 1961. Published by William Heinemann. So I need to look into this because this isn't, I don't think this will be a 2 or 3 quid sale. The trouble is, even though it could be quite a collectible edition, Georgette Hire, I mean, it might be my ignorance, but I hadn't heard of her until researching of when I got the job lot. So how many people are going to go in the bookshop and know Georgette Hire enough to, let's say I find out that I can price it at 10 quid or something. Who's going to go in, be into Georgette Hire and be prepared to pay £10? I don't know, but I will research what it is and see what I'll do. I will pause the video and I will look it up now. So on eBay, I've just looked, and this particular book is currently going for between £8.50 and £29. I will look on AirBooks as well, because that can give a good indication on the prices of different versions and different publications of the same book. So if this is going for between £8.50 and 29 quid, I'm probably going to price it at something like £12 or £13, because I'm not going to be greedy and I want to sell it. But equally, I don't want to lose money by pricing it at a price that's a giveaway price if someone walks in prepared to pay for it. So I'll probably price it at 12 or 13, leave it for a couple of months. It's not going to, it's just one book on one shelf, isn't it? I've got 8 shelves in all at the bookshop. So yeah, it's nice that I know a little bit more about Georgette Hire, and this was sitting there untouched, and I'd studied it a little bit for those books, and I was leafing through the other collection that I haven't sold yet, and as if by magic, and there's a little imprint of GH that I've just spotted there as well. And there's an imprint of is it a windmill? Don't know. Yeah, we'll give that a go and try and sell that. And that's it. So that entire lot of 1, 2, 3, it's 35 books, all for £14. So you'd expect that I will make a profit. So it's a no-brainer to go and get them. Plus, it's all learning as well, isn't it? So I hope you've enjoyed seeing those. I'm not going to be reading them, I don't think, but it's nice to see them and to learn a little bit more about the golden age of crime. If you follow on like Agatha Christie, maybe you want to dive into some of those authors as well. So if you enjoyed it and want to see more videos that I make, by all means click like and click subscribe. It would be very much appreciated. And if you do that, I'm sure I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Goodbye.